Okay, real question. Do you really need those fancy, expensive protein shakes to build muscle? Or is it possible for you to build enough muscle being a vegetarian? Because let's be honest here, most people think that if you don't drink those protein shakes every day, you'll end up looking like a stick. But spoiler alert, that's not true. So you can build muscle on a vegetarian diet without any protein powders. And today I'm just going to show you how in a very simple way that actually fits your real life. So let's go. Now, firstly, why people think that you can't do it. Now, I know most of you must be seeing these funny vegetarian memes that a lot of your meat eater friends must be sending you. And people will always ask vegetarians this one thing is that, bro, how will you get your protein? I mean, you're vegetarian. Where do you get your protein from? Because most plant foods don't really have all the building blocks your muscle needs in the right amounts. But here's the thing, your body isn't dumb. It collects these building blocks, which are called amino acids, from everything you eat in a day. So if you mix your meals right, you still get what your muscles need. And classic Indian foods also do it perfectly. Like your rice and dal, your roti and chana, your hummus and bread, all those simple combos work. So I'm sure the question in your head is that, wait, how are they gaining so much of muscle? So it's not just a theory. There are athletes and even bodybuilders who are vegetarian, and all of them still look fabulous and amazing. Even science backs this up. And studies even show that you can build muscle on a vegetarian and even vegan diet as long as you eat enough of protein and calories. So yes, it is totally possible. And here is a fun fact that most of you are not ready for. And no matter what I say, this is the truth. That all protein on earth originally comes from plants. Yep, even the protein that is in your chicken, your eggs, your steak, all starts from plants because plants use sunlight, water, and minerals to make amino acids during photosynthesis. Animals just eat those plants and then we eat those animals. So, really, we all are getting our protein from plants in the end. So, when someone just asks you that, like, bro, where do you get your protein from if you don't eat meat? Well, the honest answer is the same place that your animals get theirs from, which is from plants. So yeah, it turns out that plants aren't just enough, they're actually the source of it all. Now the question is that how do you do this without protein shakes? First, you need enough of protein in total. That's around 1.5 to 2 grams per kilo of your body weight. Now, let's say if you weigh around 60 kilos, it's roughly around 90 to 120 grams a day. That's what you need for your body. Also, you need to understand that your body is much smarter than what you think. It also recycles protein that you've eaten in the previous day. And if you want to understand this better, I do have another video that is explaining this entirely. Second is that mix different foods, your dals, your beans, your chickpeas, your tofu, your curd, your nuts, your seeds, whole grains, mix it up. Third is spread it out. Don't save all your protein just for one meal unless you're having only one meal a day. Have some maybe in your breakfast, lunch, your snacks, your dinner. Fourth is eat enough calories. Now, if you eat too little, your body won't use the protein to build muscle. It will rather end up using it for energy instead. Now, here's something that will blow your mind. Now, we humans have a trichromatic vision, which means that we can see three different types of colors, which is why we have three different types of color receptors in our retina to help us understand and perceive colors that we see in the world and the environment around us. So we see typically red, green, and blue. That is why your printer and your color spectrum pretty much have it. So unlike your dog or cat, which see mostly blues and yellows as they have dichromatic vision, we have trichromatic vision, which means that we can see much more colors than them. And this is such an important thing. And if you're wondering like why, because we see colors because it helps us identify our food, what needs to be eaten and what not. And this helps us detect ripe fruits, vegetables, other food sources that are very important when it comes to survival. That's why you'll notice that when you have eaten your meals, it's never only rice. You will notice yellow curry, you're adding it to your plate, or some colorful vegetables, because we as humans love to eat in color because we see also color. And having a trichromatic vision helps us identify our food much more easily. So now the question is that what do you actually eat? Well, for breakfast, you can have a veggie omelette with tofu or oats. You can have a little bit of yogurt and even nuts. For lunch, you can have your rice with dal and sabzi, or even your maybe chickpea curry and roti. For snacks, you can have roasted chana. You can take some nuts. You can also have a trail mix. And for dinner, you can have your tofu stir fry with rice. You can have your rajma chawal, or you can have what you're having in lunch. And before bed, you can have just a glass of plant-based milk, That's if you like. And if you look at all of this, there is nothing really fancy. It's just real food or food that you might be eating almost every day. Now, it's not just about the protein, but you also have to understand one more thing is that training also matters. Understand that just eating protein isn't enough. So you can't keep filling fuel in a car tank. You also have to drive that car. And the same way, you shouldn't just be filling your body with protein. You also have to use those muscles, like lifting weights, doing calisthenics, resistance bands, whatever you like. Do it. Because the real secret for your muscle growth is you need to challenge those muscles and then give them enough food and rest to recover. And here's one thing you also need to understand is that protein shakes aren't evil. They are just an easy way for you to get protein if you don't really hit the target through your food. That's why it's called supplements, because they are supplementing what you don't really get from your food. But you need to understand that your body understands real food more than supplements. And I'm going to give you a very weird example. So let's say that you have to pick your best friend up from the airport. Now, when you're waiting at the airport, the moment you see your best friend, you will immediately recognize that, okay, this is my best friend, and you'll run to her or him. You'll meet, you will share a laugh, you'll share a hug, and then you will go back home. But now, let's say that you have to pick up your best friend's cousin, sister's brother, who you've never met. Now, when you are in the airport waiting for your best friend's cousin, sister's brother, who maybe you've just seen in a photograph, the moment that person arrives in front of you, you might not recognize that person at first, or you might not really be very efficient in recognizing the person. And the same way is how your body goes through, because your body, when it comes to supplements, doesn't recognize it as well as it recognizes real food. I mean, I don't know if it's the best example that I've given you right now, but you understood where I'm coming from. That's why when it comes to supplements, your body understands it, but it doesn't recognize it like it does with real food. So the efficiency with the way it extracts protein also from supplements is not as great as what it would do with real food. And supplements, trust me, they can get boring, they can get expensive, plus they don't have a lot of those vitamins and minerals that our body really requires. So the best thing is, of course, try and get protein from real food, because it's actually better and it's also healthier. Now, here's a quick checklist if you are someone who wants to go without those shakes. Firstly, are you eating enough of protein from your meals? Second is, are you mixing different plant foods? And third is, are you eating enough calories? Fourth, are you training regularly? If the answer to all the questions above is yes, then congrats, you don't need shakes. But if not, then you can add them. But remember that they are just a backup, but not the real thing. And the next time someone tells you, vegetarians can't really build muscle without shakes, well, just smile and say that, watch me. Because real muscle is built by real food, smart training, and of course, consistency, not by that magic powder. Because if that was the case, then all of us would be super muscular and we all would have abs. And if this video has helped you in any way, please do share it with that one friend who will always be like, bro, you're vegetarian, so how do you get your protein? And also tell me in the comments that what is your favorite high protein vegetarian meal? And I will see you in the next video. And until we meet again next, don't stress and be awesome. Roger that.